Oh, it does have the logo. I'm stupid. Whatever. But
It's fine. It's
yeah, it's good.
fine.
I'm not
I
leaking
can't see
anything.
it.
We're good.
There's no leaks going on.
But
It must be
this
so
is
weird to sort of be, doing your normal map projects that you want to do and just
I,
not being able to talk about them, right?
I'm look, someone asked me like the other day because I was in a different server and I mentioned like, "Oh yeah, I work on TF2 Classic." And they're like, "Well, what do you make?" And I was like, "I can't talk about this. I can't talk about
Yeah.
that. I'm pretty sure I can't talk about that. I can't talk about that." Oh fuck. Hey, so I made this one map and then I found out I can't talk about that and I'm like, "Oh man, I
Because
hate
they
that all
get,
my projects are so
yeah.
good that they one day are gonna be possibly in the game. So like I
It's
can't."
everything you come up with. It can't just be a personal project because if it's good enough, it could
Well,
go in.
okay, I'm gonna
That's
I'm gonna say this. Sisyphus originally was a joke, and it was
I mean,
taken as a
I
joke
got
by
that vibe.
everyone. It was taken as a joke by everyone, and then one
Yeah.
playtest, all of a sudden, people were like, "This is low-key kind of fun, actually. Like, the more you
Yeah.
work on this, the better it's getting." And I was like, "Well, yeah, but like, it's still just a shit post." And you're like, "No, no, I think I might art pass
Suddenly
this." And I
not.
was like, "What? You might art
That's
pass
wild.
this?" And then eventually, over more and more versions, people started liking it more. The big thing that I did on that map, the other one, is I just made it more digestible and simpler. The original layout was a lot more not complicated or spaghetti, but like four team. Whenever you're having to look like this way and this way
Oh,
at all
that's the
times,
main problem with it
yeah.
at the moment, isn't it?
Well, that's what I
I
tried to make this map as a solution for, because this is before people took it seriously. It's just all very
mhm.
segmented. It's very like
So
clean,
you're sort of
little
pairing teams off
rewarding.
to fight each other every now and then throughout their push.
Well, what
Right.
I realized when I was making Sisyphus is as much as I love the big bowl shape, I called it fishbowl for a while because like it's just if you look at the map, it's a big circle. That's all it is.
Yeah.
With this map, I aimed for a bit more of like an X shape. So it
Okay.
kind of
Yeah.
all just crosses over in the middle. There's no swastika in the center, which is good. I avoided
That's
that.
good. It's a good
Yeah.
sign.
Well,
We've
it's better for it.
every four PLR map ends up like that at one point.
Yeah, that's why I made sure to have it curve in and then out again, so it, like gets rid of that. It actually
It's
kind of
wild.
it's weird.
I,
It kind of looks like the crosshair of the TF2 logo for some reason to me. I don't know
yeah.
why.
Well, I
But
guess actually the map that we just played, Vortex experimental though it is, was originally. I'm pretty sure if you look at the layout of those tracks, that forms the TF2C logo or something like that.
oh
Like
yeah,
the
probably.
first concept art they posted it literally just looked like the TF2C logo.
Yeah, that was what Sisyphus's mid was too.
Yeah,
I did that as a
honestly,
joke
well,
though.
whould
It's
have
funny
thought
because
that it was such
it's a good
a nice
little.
shape?
Well, it's because okay, the reason I made the maps like that though is because I realized I had like for Payload Race, there weren't many other Payload Race maps for like four team. So obviously
Yeah.
you're kind of flying blind when you're like, I want to make a
Hmm.
four Payload Race map.
Yeah.
So what I thought was
We
like,
found the
well,
same problem.
what's yeah, like what's the problem I have with like four Payload Race as a game mode? Like why the few times have I played it did I like not enjoy it? And I was like, oh, it's
Hmm.
because like when you're making a Payload Race map, like two team Payload Race map, you kind of have like Nightfall. I really like
Yeah.
Nightfall. I like Nightfall's second
Sure.
stage a lot. You kind of start in your own base and you push into the enemy's base. In four
Of
payload
course,
race, there's
it's not
three
doable.
other teams. So
Yeah.
there was a map called Crossbones, where what you did is you crossed in front of every other team and then you kind of went back to the beginning to like make
Yes.
a big loop around. And it was an awesome, like super cool idea. Horrible layout for the idea. Because what ended up happening is blue team would gatekeep yellow and red team would
Yeah,
gatekeep
you
green.
all
And then
spawn
you
camp
have
each other.
well, you just had two separate, like two payload race maps going on in a
Hmm.
big four team map. Like these two teams would hate each other, and these two teams would hate each other. And then whoever like got through the wall first would just kind of win. And I was like,
Yeah, I
well,
tried.
how do you fix
Is it
that?
gone?
You know, it's like it's hard to fix
Yeah.
that. So I
I
racked my
did
brain
try
over it for a
designing
while.
a 14 map around pairing off teams, and then just like because I feel like if you have just a big cross and they all walk into the middle, it's a bit of a crab bucket and everyone sort of just dies. We see that in the King of the Hill maps, especially.
Yeah.
You don't know where to look because they're just all around you, and so I feel like it is the way to go, trying to sort of segment it up so that you're fighting a different team at a different point, but you sort of engage with everyone in the end.
But I think it's just more so about like making sure that the players feel like they have, because what a lot of people complained about on the other map was, I feel like I run out and I die, and then I
Hmm.
feel like I run out and I die, and then I kill one person, and I was like, well, how do I make it so it feels like they're doing something? And I was like, oh well, you walk out here, clean little like, you can just see everything that's going on. I gave people like high ground here, and I love this. I put the little jump pad
That's a
because
little jump pad.
I always
If
I
I were
always think about
playing,
jump pads,
anyone who's
man.
going in the NA test, take notes. That's a good.
Oh,
That's a good.
I love jump pads.
Yeah.
I can't talk about it because fucking my maps are too good. But like, you know the map, Jaws. You know the map, and you know the point
I
where you can
I
get on the roof. And oh man, that wasn't even. That was beautiful. I love that point. That's my favorite point I've ever made, and it's because of the stupid jump pads. But I can't talk about it.
You can't talk about it. It's classified
I
information,
need
especially
this
from all of
fucking
these
update to
people.
come out so I can just yap about level design.
Oh yeah, guys. Speaking of when the update's coming out now, when,
Oh
no
man, you're
extracting more leaks. We've
look.
had enough
I
today.
wish it was out already.
Uh, hello.
No, but I'm hoping. I fixed up the VMF, so now I hope I can play this. Unless there's a bug somewhere, but I don't see any. Oh, I
I
need to
mean,
hide
I
that.
I don't see how you'd find a bug in a map that looks like this,
Oh wait, does it kill you?
without
Yes.
playtesting it. So
Yes. Okay, the big thing I'm worried about is we're gonna push the cards and they're gonna touch each other and then they're gonna get stuck on each other and then everyone's gonna
mm,
yell and then red team and yellow team aren't gonna be able to play the game and blue team and green team are winning.
the fucking payloads are the worst objective because they can soft lock your game in a multitude of different
the
ways.
the first time I ever made a payload race map, the payload carts touched. It just happened. Like the two
Mm.
teams were pushing evenly. Ironically, the map was also named Sisyphus. Like it was the OG OG. It was two
It's a
payload
good
race.
name. It's a good name for a map.
I
You're pushing
look,
things.
the meme was huge, but they pushed each other. There's a bridge in the center of the map. The carts were both crossing it. Both teams were fighting behind their carts, so the carts touched tips and it froze. The map just broke. And I said to myself, God fucking damn it. And I said, well, how do I fix this? And then a bunch of people were like, well, have you done this? Have you done this? Have you done this? And I'm like, I did all those things. So to fix it, I just cheated and the map wasn't true symmetry. I made the carts like go around each other
No way.
in a stupid way so that they could just get around it. So red
That
team's track on one of the versions was slightly longer than blue's to make sure they didn't touch in the beginning because I
I
couldn't
suppose,
fix it. Now I know how to
but
do it.
if you,
Now I
yeah,
know.
I was gonna
I was being
say that
stupid.
it's a bit of a trivial thing to think about now, but yeah, I
Yeah,
see.
I was being pretty silly and pretty stupid because I
I
had
mean,
never made like payload maps really. I'd stuck to like control point, like
yeah,
not 5 CP, but like like 3 CP, King of the Hill, stuff like that. So my
it's
knowledge of
just
like payload
cleaner.
logic was horrible. So whenever
If
the
there's
cart did something wrong, I just screamed in frustration.
if there's anything I've learned in trying to make a payload map for the first time, it's that trying to make a payload map, it at least from scratch, is a pain in the ass.
Oh no, it's horrible. You're supposed to
I
be
feel like you've got to do the trial by fire at least once though, and then you know how the sausage is made,
the
and you can use your
the
prefab and be
number.
like, if this goes wrong, I know how this
Oh my
works.
god.
Yeah.
I hope that I can talk about all the fucking versions of that other map I made because oh my god, I was encountering esoteric issues with it that no one has ever documented before that
That's
literally I mean this like genuinely they had to push updates to TF2 Classic so my map would compile. And to this day I still don't know what went wrong, what broke. And Azzy, the lead developer, lead programmer, just said, I don't know how you've done this, but never do it again. because this was an awful experience to fix. And I was like, I don't even know what I did. I didn't even do anything. It's not even my fault.
You have such a
What
big
happened?
hammer moment that you need to actually update the engine and the game.
Well, the
That is
good news
wild.
is that it's part of why it was something related to VScript. So it was kind of
Okay.
important to fix.
Oh yeah, hang on a minute. Yes.
It was
Yes.
it was like the most stupid thing though, because it was just like, on my map for some reason the doors aren't opening. That'll be a 2-second fix, I thought stupidly, like an
Quick
idiot.
question. Quick question. Does this does this server have a VC text channel, or are we just supposed to use the weird?
Doesn't Discord have these built in these days? You can click
Yeah,
open
it
chat from the
does,
old.
but nobody ever uses them because they're like way out of the way. You have to like
You know
circuitously
what?
click on the
Just for
thing.
you, I'm gonna make
Just
one
for
right
you,
now.
Thank you.
Boom.
because you asked so nicely.
Oh, nobody ever uses the like voice, the voice channel chats because it's like
We tend not
it's.
to. We tend to just talk in game.
I know it's like out of the way and it's weird and it's ugh.
My mic in game is so quiet for some reason. So
That is very
sad.
strange.
I just
I mean,
don't have a mic.
just boost it up. Boost it up
I
in
I'll
whatever
boost it up
operating
on my
system you're
own.
using.
I'll boost it on my
Louder.
own end before the plate
Yeah.
Just yell.
Oh
Just-
no, I don't
yeah.
want to scream. I don't want to
Boost it
scream.
the
This is
manual
really
way.
good. I think what you need to do is make your mid a little bit more open, and then
Hey,
just
everyone else is
scream,
screaming about the map. You wouldn't be the only one.
scream feedback. Oh no, it's all
What
good.
as far as Vortex, I keep wanting to say Vortex, which is what it
That's the
is, but
joke, I assume. Yes.
that is the idea. But
I see.
the way that I'm gonna fix Vortex is probably I'm gonna do two things. One, I'm gonna rework. I'm gonna open the map up, like way up, so that way everyone can see where everyone is going. And then I'm probably gonna. I don't know exactly. Well, I'll make the payload, the cart tracks shorter, and
Well, I think
then
you could just make them more direct, like because on
I,
your map they go like all the way around the circumference, like the edges.
they
I
do
think there's
quite well.
probably a
Well,
way
the
you
thing
can make
is,
it a little more direct.
the way that I wanted it to make it was that like I wanted to make it so that it's harder and harder to cap as you go. So like you first go through one team and then you go below another team and then you go into the center where all four teams are converging. And that's the idea is that like the further you go down your track the harder it is to like continue pushing. But the problem is that the map is so segmented and everything is separated, it's difficult for people to like track down the teams that are leading, and they would much rather stick to their own payload. What I'm probably going to
Even
do.
when they push it underneath your own base, I found it sort of goes through a bit of a tube, right? And you struggle. You can't really do much from up above it unless you go sort of back into the entrance of
Yeah,
the
well,
tunnel to get in there. So
if a sniper is able to get to like the ledge where that little shed is, then they would have a very clear sight line onto your track and be able to harass you from there. And there's not much you can do from that point because you're all the way down there, and that's the idea. But of course, people were still learning the map. They didn't really know the good sight lines, and also, they were so focused on pushing their own cart. What I'm probably going to do is I'm going to open the map way up, so that way, it's a lot easier. I'm gonna scrunch it down, make it easier for players to get from A to B, and further intersect the tracks. So the design principle will still be the same, where you start passing through one base, you pass through another, and then you converge at the middle at the other side of the map. So it's like it gets harder and harder for you to push to the end. But I'm going to condense it down so that players are more inclined to intercept each other.
Yeah, I think the other way that also promotes a lot of players like intercepting each other is if you give players like good like incentives to want to leave their cart. Like a good position or like some kind of like high ground on someone usually is like enough for someone to say, I want to go mess with this team. And then kind of
Yeah.
like harass them a little bit.
Well, that's what I was trying to do with the lower path, but it again, it's like it's circuitous. It's not easy to, it's not like there. You know, it's kind of out of the way. And so what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to make it so that people on the upper level, it's easier for people on the upper level to harass people down on the lower level.
Yeah. You could also like maybe make it so that the like only the team that's in the lead, if you could somehow make it so that that person is the one who gets the penalty rather than like, because what happened multiple times was like blue would be here, yellow would be here, and blue would be slightly behind yellow, and then blue would be like, well, we don't want to stop pushing because we're like right next to the end, but someone's
Mhm.
got to stop yellow. But we're not gonna
Right.
do it because we're over here.
Well, that's
Um,
why. Well, that's why I designed it in such a way like the further you go down the track, the higher, the faster the rollback timer. So like it starts out, your rollback timer starts at 20. Then about like a third of the way it cuts down to 10, and then near the end it cuts down to a mere 5. So if someone's able to stop you near the end, like your cart basically rolls back like that. Um but of course, when all the teams are near the end, then it doesn't. It's a bit more of a toss up, especially for the team that's like already leading. So I'll have to figure out the whole rollback thing. What I might do, if the map's going to be more open, then I'm probably going to keep the rollback to like a level thing that's across the entire map, because there's going to be a lot more intercepting. So with that added chaos, I think the rollback timer should be fairly short, but it'll be the same across the whole map.
Yeah. Yeah, I think also with 4 payload race maps, or 14 maps in general, like really small changes like affect a lot more than they would normally in other maps, because the change gets mirrored 4 times. So it's like a tiny little route addition is actually like 4 new routes if you think about it. So it kind of it can snowball, especially. But
Yeah,
I thought
that's
the idea was really cool because like I've never seen payload race maps where, or I guess I have, but certainly not for 14 for sure, where like you descend towards the objective instead of ascending. It's kind of like, I think like what's the word? It's kind of like habit, where it's like, oh well, if I want to have a rollback zone at the end, I gotta have like a hill, you know.
Mhm.
Whereas with your map, it's just like the normal cart rollback speed. You just upped that, and then it kind of
Yep.
just loops all the way back up, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
And I think that like if you have your progression be downward, it's kind of like a payload blast, where like Badwater, where you kind of like descend into the pit, and then everyone's firing on you from above, and it makes it harder,
Right.
rather than
Yeah.
like going up and then being more exposed, but you kind of have high ground. So
Yeah. That's kind of what I was going for, was that. See, here's the thing about 14, and this is something that I've kind of like, I've wanted to make a whole video about it. I have a script together. It's just that I have to record it. Um, my whole thing with 14 is that like I've had people contend with me on this thing, but the whole thing about 14 that I think would help bolster it as a game mode would be the addition of being able to retract progress from other teams. And I've had people shit on me for this, because like, oh, you don't want all your hard work to be regressed. But um if you're a team that's in like last place, and then there's a team like all the way at the front, there's not much you can do at that point. So I think having like a rollback thing, this is part of what I wanted to uh, this is part of what I wanted to like roll out as this concept for 14, because being able to stop, not only stop a team from progressing, but have that team start rolling back their progress, then it gives it gives all the other teams some breathing room, and then they're like, okay, now we can catch up. And I kind of designed the map in such a way that like teams kind of have to go out of their way to stop each other, but when they do, it's worth it. It's just that players don't tend to do that on a payload race map, and also it's because it's like a whole thing. What I'm probably gonna do, I mean, this is something that I probably should have done from the beginning, is focus more on converging players into one general space, which is what I already did for Fuel, because that's kind of something that has been missing from 14 maps, at least the official ones. The official 14 maps, they don't converge the players that much, and I think that needs to be done more in order to encourage the more chaotic nature of it. So I'm just going to be doing that.
Yeah, and I think that the biggest problem with 14 maps usually is that it's hard to strike a balance between chaos and like fun, because like there is a lot of fun to be had in like a chaotic map. Like I love maps where you just can't tell what's going on. There was a map we played in the beta, not leaking anything, but it was a really tiny Koth map. It was a super tiny Koth map. I'm talking like your exit of your spawn and the enemy's exit, they're like right next to each other. But the cool thing about it was like the point was nowhere near that. So it was kind of like you were racing a route to the point when your spawn doors faced each other in a really weird way. And it was a Koth map. It was really weird. It was really bad. But the idea was so fun that I had a ton of fun because I played Pyro and I sat outside the spawn doors and I said, this is fun to me. Everyone on the other team who was losing hated the map. Makes sense. Understandable. I won all my rounds, so I didn't I have empathy as a human being, but the dopamine I was getting from winning felt too good to care that like half the server was having a bad time. So half the server was like, let's keep playing on this. We need more data. And the other team was like, no, I think we could go to a different map. And
We've
then
got the idea,
yeah, eventually we went to a different map. But that map is like it's got a nice little corner of my brain because I thought of it and I was like, well, certain people are going to have fun in those types of game modes, usually the winning team. That's kind of how a lot of 14 maps feel to me, where like one team either stomps or kind of just gets ignored, specifically in like payload race. It's kind of like, oh, all the teams are fighting each other except for like red. Red's just able to chill, and then red caps, and then, well, red just won the game because no one else was fighting them. Like, what the hell?
In King of the Hill, this happens a lot, where you can just cap and win by letting everyone else fight it out.
Yeah, especially I was going to say King of the Hill 2 is a great example because it's kind of the inverse, where because there's so much going on, red team fights blue team, green team owns the point, green team doesn't give a shit because they just come in later and they're like, well, blue team can't cap with one person left. Yellow team's like, I don't know where they're at. Everyone's just fighting each
And
other.
they
We've
keep
already
on doing
capped
each
the
other's
point.
cap progress. Yeah.
Yeah, and they undo each other's cap progress. And so I really wish there was like I don't know how to like
The old
necessarily implement
simultaneous
it.
cap progress thing that
Well,
we all
I
want.
actually I kind of wish that if it's going to sound kind of weird because it's very non-Koth, but I kind of wish you could uncap the point if someone else owned it. Like if green team hasn't like touched the point for like 60 seconds or something, they just lose it. Like they actually have to hold the ground. Because I see a lot
Right.
in 4 team where like
That would be an interesting way of doing it.
yeah,
See,
because what
here's
I
the
see in 4 team is like the team that actually owns the point kind of they get on the point and then they're like, all right, we got it. It's yours. You guys can fight. You guys want to cap it? Go for it. We'll be over here building Uber, building crits. We'll be chilling. And then they swoop in at the very end
They
to
could be
like
all in the respawn
wipe.
room and the points
Yeah.
not get kept. I've
But
seen it happen so many times.
I think that change that I would suggest is like it would change the game mode itself into something a bit different, specifically for 4 team.
Possible,
And I think that
yes.
that could have a lot of, negative side effects as well.
what the idea that I had in order to sort of fix this was, again, undoing progress. The whole idea being like, yeah, that is a big problem with 14 in that, teams can very easily top teams can very easily take advantage of the chaos of like a battlefield and just kind of slip in and take it at the last second. And I think the best way to fix that would be like if a team owns the point, it starts, not only do they get progress themselves, but it takes away progress from the leading team. So that way, that like no matter who's fighting over the point and who owns it, so long as someone other than the winning team owns it, then their progress is revoked, and so they have to like fight tooth and nail to keep it. And I think that would be that personally would be the best thing. But then again, it is like you say, like
cap it in the first place is the trouble with
right. They do have to cap it in order for it to actually make a difference. So
yeah, every change has a crazy knock on. Like making a territory control domination map of no specific name, making that
of course,
and changing small things about the game mode itself, like you realize very quickly, like, oh, this was the tiny piece of gum holding this whole hodgepodge contraption together, and I just removed it. Now my map has no support, and everyone's screaming at each other. They're drowning in the kiddie pool. How do I fix that? I took away their life vests, and now they're in the great blue. They're just out in the ocean now with sharks. And I put those there. I feel like shit now. I took away their life rafts. Oh my god. I feel bad when I make people playtest a miserable version, because sometimes my brain gets curious and I say, does my map really need this? And I remove it just to see. And every time I'm proven. I removed the forced respawn mechanic on one of my maps. And basically, when a team capped a point before, they would always respawn immediately so they could like contest the next objective. Sounds intuitive. I thought to myself, why don't I get rid of it? Horrible idea. Every map, every game, the rest of that day on that map, like the next time it was playtested, was a complete stomp. They would cap the first point and steamroll into the second point and just win. And everyone's asked me, everyone said, why did you do that? And I said, I just got curious. I was like, maybe, what if I lower the respawn times and then I just make up for it? But I learned something. You know, I learned.
Strategy. You just enjoy watching them run around.
Well, I was one of the ants, bro. I was one of the workers in there, bro. I was not on the winning team that day. That's why I changed it back.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I undid that change.
I got destroyed. Just keep that in.
I've got a quick question, lads. Because I don't know if I'm doing something wrong here. I'm making a thing for Weight Plaza. No spoilers. I need to figure out what freaking condition, what adcon tranquilized is. Because for the life of me, I tried using the adcon that's on the wiki. It's not that.
Half of them are different from the wiki now, yeah.
Somewhere of it. I have a TXT. Let me find it.
I was gonna say, there is... I know it's not the one on the wiki, because someone else complained about it before. And then I asked about it, and then I never got a response. Maybe I did and I forgot about it. It's probably the second one is more likely. No, I asked the wrong person. That's what it was. And they said they also didn't know. And then we said, who does? It was a little awkward.
Yeah, I think I've definitely had a conversation about the offsets of conditions being wrong. I think maybe it was when
they were right at some point, but then what happened is a lot of the way that they were coded got redone because of like an update to TF2C, like a minor one, and then it offset all the values by like I think 1 or 2. So like it's not the number on the wiki anymore, but it's only been like that for like a few months, and I don't remember. And it's like one of those things where you remember, like you should update it, and I should make a note about this real quick in the dev server to make sure we fix this.
What number does it say on the wiki?
It says 130 on the wiki.
Try 109.
109.
That's a bit of an offset.
That's what
Maybe
this
it got changed
TXT I
again.
found on my desktop
Yeah.
says. I
Okay.
can't remember where I got the TXT.
Well, that's the best kind of TXT files.
That means it has
Mysterious
to be correct.
ones.
Cont 109.
Am I?
Yep.
Whoever VIPR Lime, and now okay, it was VIP Lime, now it's VIPR Lime. Which one do I keep?
That's
Because there's
crazy
two.
that there's a all the maps I make, I name them after foods unless like I have like a specific thing in mind. And I made a VIPR map as well named Macaroni.
Wait, so
And one of the maps I thought of naming it, I actually thought of naming it Lime as well. So it's kind of funny that there's
Wait.
another
Great, that is
person who's
wild.
made a Lime map.
so now I have
Okay.
to figure out like, if I'm going to be
Okay,
using a
great.
filter for this, I'm going to be using a filter TF condition. Do I have to? No, I can't use TF underscore con underscore tranquilized. I have to use something else. I have to use whatever is in the 109 slot.
Does it let
Which
you
one
just
was
put a
it?
number into it?
No, it doesn't let me put a number into it. It's all just TF underscore con. So I have to figure out which one
If
is
you
in the
turn off
109.
I think if
Oh,
you
I see,
put
'cause
in a number, it'll autocorrect to the condition name.
Does
I
it?
was going to
Okay.
say that you could turn off Smart Edit, and that might let you do it.
This is just where I
Okay,
say, hey, good luck,
109.
man. Yeah.
109 is taken up by TF underscore con underscore rune underscore king. Cool.
Yeah, like good
Lovely.
luck, Brody. I don't know what to say, man. Like wishing you luck on your journey. I hope you find it.
At the moment, the one for not taking full damage, having just used the jump pad, is labeled King condition. You know, if I remember correctly.
I mean, that's awesome though.
Yeah, I mean, jump pad, as we know, jump pads are king.
Jump pads
I
are
love jump
king.
pads.
That is very true. I was gonna
Couldn't add the mantress.
I was gonna set this thing up, this thing that I'm making. I was gonna set this up so that it like it sets a specific filter. Like it chooses a random filter to set to. But however, for one, you can't change a trigger's filter through a command, so that's ass. You can't, and two, you can't change a filter's like setting, so if it was like a filter class, then you can't change it to from scout to spy, for example. So not
Yeah.
only would I need an absurd amount of filters, but I would also need an absurd amount of triggers. And I'm like, I don't want to bloat Weight Plaza with that.
This is a case for Weight Plaza VScript, really, isn't it?
I suppose
Yeah.
so.
I mean, I dread to think what Weight Plaza is going to become when VScript is updated.
Oh, we can only wonder.
It.
I'm going to add Doom
Do you
Jaws.
remember the bot add command?
I always forget.
These guys won't do anything.
No, I just need to make sure
Oh,
they're
no,
spawning
unless
in the
it's
right
like-
spawn rooms.
Because there's bot
There we
add
go.
and there's TF bot add.
Yeah, TF bot ad is the.
I typically use TF bot quota,
There we go.
because
Yeah,
that
TF
doesn't
bot quota is the proper way of doing it, really.
right,
Ah,
because
bro, we
it
don't do
because it
anything
doesn't
proper. Come on.
it doesn't mess with it. Like in case you're using a map that adds bots in itself, then it doesn't mess with that.
Also, just I find that TF bot add and kick actually just flat out don't work half the time. You tell it to kick all the bots and it like leaves one or two. Just to fuck
Yeah,
with
that's my favorite though. Is the like stragglers that just don't get kicked for some reason.
they're only
awesome.
the strong
Well, that's-
survive.
Well, that's why I always set the bot quota to 0,
Community.
because then they all get
Mhm.
killed.
Yeah, it's the better way of doing it, as I say. Oh, well, to be honest, it's getting quite late here.
There we go.
I'm gonna head off, but you guys can manage putting some files together for the playtest, can't you? I'm sure. it won't be
Sure,
disastrous.
totally.
Yeah, you know what you're doing. It's
We're American.
Yeah,
What kind of
we
silly
totally
Yeah.
crap is that?
all right. I'll leave it in your capable hands. The demos are now uploading themselves and not deleting themselves. So that's a damn sight better than I was doing because I kept deleting them.
Oh, well,
Well,
Good, I'm
it's
glad
happened
that
like
they're-
twice now where I've just typed RM all demos before I actually copied them over.
You dingus.
I know, but that was me doing it because that's what you get when I do it at some absurd hour.
Mhm.
Okie dokie. Right.
Mistakes happen.
You
it
guys have fun
happens.
then.
Yeah,
I'll
have a
see
good
you
one.
tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.
If I hear any bad news, you know what's coming.
Oh, I'm sure we will.
Right. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.